Ralston continued to climb mountains. Ralston was down an arm, but he wasn't down for good. He eventually completed his goal of climbing all of Colorado's 14ers, becoming the only person to climb all 59 of Colorado's mountains over 14,000 feet, and he did them all alone in the winter. He also climbed each state's highest peak. "I love spending time with friends in the outdoors," he said. "I love spending time with my son, going on hikes or just playing." He also used his regained passion after recovery to inspire other recovering prosthesis patients by encouraging them to believe and imagine. If you are truly motivated to experience your goal, whatever it is, you must first seek your inspiration. James Franco didn't get it at first. Ralston asked James Franco, who had been cast as him in the movie of 127 Hours, what made him take on the role. Franco said that he found it very interesting to see a human taken out of his environment and really forced to see what he's made of. While Ralston found Franco's answer flattering, he said that no, it was the thought of reuniting with his loved ones that made him press onwards. Ralston was involved in making 127 Hours. Though Ralston had already written a book aptly titled Between a Rock and a Hard Place, which director Danny Boyle had read, Boyle and lead actor James Franco spoke to Ralston at length as they shaped the film 127 Hours. Most notably, Ralston made sure that movie included the smile at the end of the amputation, saying that he really was smiling after severing his arm. It was a breakup that threw him off course. Amputating your own arm, who cares, but getting dumped is another story. A breakup is ultimately what threw Aron Ralston into a deep depression years after his ordeal. Ralston had lost friends to suicide, but thankfully was able to get help for his depression, and that's when he met his future wife, Jessica, at a bar in Aspen. He was involved in a domestic case 10 years after his ordeal. After his accident, Ralston married Jessica Trusty in 2009 and had a son with her. 2 years later, Ralston started a relationship with Vita Shannon, a woman whom he'd met on a plane, and announced his divorce from Trusty. He fathered another child with Shannon but got into a domestic dispute with her in 2013 when the child was only a few months old. The charges against both were dropped, however. Alone in the Wild recruited him to replicate his experience on an island. In 2011, Aron Ralston filmed an episode of Alone in the Wild, a Discovery Channel show that sent him to a remote island for 127 hours. He was completely alone for that time, just like he was when his arm was trapped. As there were no cameras rolling, Ralston filmed himself. Though Ralston survived on the island, he said it was harder than he expected, and that the experience made him reevaluate his priorities. He had been working as a motivational speaker almost non-stop, despite having an infant son, and said that he planned to slow down. "I woke up the next day and thought, okay, now it's time to start making better decisions," he told the Daily Mail. "I got a fire going. I desalinated some seawater. I cooked some conchas. I realized I've been getting my priorities wrong." Ralston's experience bothered search and rescue experts. Though Ralston was hailed as a hero by the media and by his subsequent memoir and movie, search and rescue volunteers are frequently put in threatening situations. The fact is, most accidents, including Ralston's, could have been prevented, or at least not been so bad. While Ralston did exhibit extraordinary resolve in the face of an impossible situation, he demonstrated lack of maturity and preparedness, and still should have left a note when he embarked on his adventure. He might have saved his arm, and perhaps everyone would have been better off.
He cremated his arm.
After his rescue, what happened to the partial arm that Ralston left pinned under the boulder? A crew of rescuers and heavy machinery lifted the boulder so that they could retrieve the arm. Ralston had it cremated and eventually was able to scatter the ashes in the very canyon where he nearly met his demise. The loss of his arm was traumatic, but it's made up for it somewhat from a financial point of view. As of 2013, it was estimated that Ralston had made over $1 million from his book, speaking fees, and royalties from 127 hours.
It took him more than 1 hour to successfully sever his own arm.
Any way you slice it, amputating your own arm with primitive tools will be gory. After realizing his small pocket knife was too dull to cut through bone, Ralston used the weight of the boulder that was pinning his arm to break the radius and ulna. Then, he was able to saw through the flesh with his knife and make a tourniquet out of the water tube from his camelback. As Ralston stabbed the dead tissue, gas released from it, making a hissing sound. He said it took over an hour for him to successfully sever his arm. As preparation for the movie, Ralston talked to James Franco about the processing of cutting off his arm, including the difference between cutting muscle and nerve, the latter being equated to having your arm incinerated.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.